Hi everyone. Hi, I'm Ina, and I wanted to talk to you about this what could having your back look like, and I wonder what else can we talk about. Today in the morning, I spent like a maybe I'll wait for people to join in and come on. Hi, Sunita. So, what could having your back look like? Today in the morning, it was like, hi Simone. Today in the morning, and hi Bhavna, and feel free to send those hearts and likes. I love them. And thank you for joining. Today in the morning, I was like, a part of my morning was spent on looking at something from a space of, it was like a wonkiness in my world, and I was in this space of like, what am I doing? Is this even working? And what's up with me? And so I became aware that a lot of it wasn't mine. So even though I kind of spent some time of my morning dwelling and indulging and allowing myself to indulge in this thing of thanks Ekta for joining, thanks Tanvi, and great to have you guys here. And I got to this space of, okay, cool, so this is what's going on. It's not really a fun space. There was this, like, I'm not, that energy of like, I'm not good enough, I'm not creating enough, what am I doing, I'm hiding, I could be creating so much more, what's up, with all of that. And so I asked another question as to, okay, cool, this is what's going on, what can I do with this, and what can I create from this space? And I got like, I was like, who can I talk to? And so Audrey showed up, and I asked him to ask me a bunch of questions as to what's going on and where can I go from here. And I realized that a lot of it wasn't mine. I was like really aware. I have some things going on, like getting created and events coming up, and a lot of it had to do with what was going on in the events, guys, the people who are coordinating the event venue, and how it was going on, what was going on with them. And so yet my being there with it and asking questions, these different sort of possibilities started showing up. Like I started calling up other venue places. I asked Audrey to ask me a bunch of questions, and as he asked me more questions around it and asked me what can show up and what can I create now and where can I go from here, it was almost like my business started expanding, my world started expanding, I started expanding, my space started expanding. The space that I could be with the people who were arranging the venue started expanding. They started having more space with it and could create different possibilities. And I have a whole bunch of new venues, which are like really awesome for upcoming workshops and classes that I'm really excited about. So what if, no matter what is showing up, no matter even if you're aware of other people's wonkiness and you're doing who does it belong to and return it to sender and it's not going, but you could, like, what if we could still create from there? Hi Monita, thank you for joining. But what if you could still create from there and say, where can I go from here? Okay, how can I use all of this that's showing up, even the wonkiness and the funkiness and the uncomfortable? Like there was a moment I was like, maybe I should just cancel it. Maybe I should do something. And then I was like, wow, who does that belong to? And I started becoming aware of everyone who's choosing the class and what's going on in everyone's world. And I was like, okay, cool. How can I use this to outcreate me? And how can I use this to upgrade my business, to my life, to what am I looking at creating? And as and when I started asking that question, and I allowed myself to really, like the conversation with Audrey that I had, was the willingness to be totally vulnerable and to really look at, like, what conversations are we unwilling to have with ourselves? Because we have to make it. We are strong. Like, I had that thing, like, I'm this strong, independent, hi Surya, I'm this strong, independent woman, and I got this. But sometimes I don't have it, and sometimes I don't got this, and what else is possible? So the willingness to really kind of lower down my barriers, be willing to be present. Hi Anita, thank you for joining. And my willingness to look at, okay, who can I ask to facilitate me here? Hi Nasira, who can ask me questions that will allow me to go beyond this, to create beyond this? And the willingness to really talk to Audrich and tell him what exactly was showing up, rather than being brave or looking like I'm being brave, and then being willing to tell him that, like, what's up? I'm like, there was this energy of like being a failure, not creating enough and not doing enough, and where can I go from here? And the more I asked it, the more I started becoming aware of how much of it wasn't mine, which was a great relief. And yet it created this space where I could go from beyond what I was currently creating, and where I was currently beyond what I had decided were my limitations, or beyond what I decided I couldn't choose. And like, Right Voice for You is that class. It kind of does that for you. It's sort of I know, Tanvi, it's never yours. Yeah, but what if you could still turn around and use that energy to create more? Use that energy to even be more potent. Use that energy to show up even more. Use that to outcreate yourself. So, and in that process, in that one morning of, I think I must have spoken to some 10, 20 people, got more awareness, my zone of information and awareness is expanded, the possibilities that are showing up are galore. So what if, like, we didn't look at anything as a problem? What if anything that's showing up, even the uncomfortable, even the wonkiness, even the not feeling good enough and great enough, you could ask, like, and turn it around to create more? And what would that look like for each one of us? Like, just this willingness to really be present with it allowed me to choose things that I wasn't choosing earlier. It allowed me to, I saw a lot of videos today. I had fun doing that, and that have given me so much information of where I can go from here, what I could choose, or maybe not choose, but they definitely allowed me to be more space with all of that. So cool stuff. Thank you. Hi Apurva, thank you for joining. So if you have any questions about this or any comment, go ahead, type away. So I have this class coming up, Right Voice for You, and it's bringing up stuff. Like, it's bringing up stuff for me, it's bringing up stuff for everyone. So when you don't have an event, and the event is day after tomorrow, the class, you don't have an event venue, and you have the class, what do? You make a video, you talk to everyone, and you go, what can we create from here? So if any one of you or all of you desire to contribute to a gorgeous, amazing venue to show up for my Right Voice for You class, which is day after tomorrow, please feel free to contribute. If you have any ideas of where it can be, please feel free to contribute. Then we are saying, so how do you deal with the uncomfortable with ease? You lean in. When it gets uncomfortable, you turn it up. Well, I guess that's what I did. You turn it up. You turn you up. Because when it's uncomfortable, it's also like a lot of people around you get uncomfortable when you're choosing something different, choosing something that you haven't chosen before. It's uncomfortable for you, and how much of it is also this excitement and this space or where we can go from here. And you lean in, and it's really like, a lot of times this is what I do, which I actually shared with a session with someone as well, which is like, what if you just lean in? Like, if whatever, like, get a sense of whatever area that you're looking at expanding or growing or changing or shifting or just showing up or making a video. Like, what if you just become present with that and with the whole energy and the uncomfortableness with it? that you have, and you lean in and you stick with it and you say 10, 9, I'm going to be here. What's this creating? 8, okay, 7, I'm here, I'm turning it up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And in this thing, it's been that most of the times I didn't even have to go till 0. Like a lot of times we have these things, points of views, constructs that we've decided that we can't create beyond, or if we do, then it will create this. But you really don't know you really don't know actually what it's going to create, like what it would look like exactly. But you get a sense of it. Like you would get a sense of, like for me to be able to make this video, to have this sense of what this would create for me and for everyone who cares to join and anyone else who will ever see this video in the future. So it allows me to get a sense of that. Yet I can't get a sense of exactly what's going to create for each one of us and what's going to look like. And that whether it was this video or it was like multiple things that brought to you, and like what all are you guys asking for, that you are on this video with me playing. So what else is possible? Where can we go from here? And what if whenever it's uncomfortable, you turn you on and you turn you up and up and up. And a lot of times it's like ask and you shall receive. You ask for it and it starts showing up. And you could always ask, what would it take? This was one of the questions that I've been asking since morning. What would it take for this to be easier and fun? What would it take for this to be fun and easier? And the more I'm choosing it, the more it's becoming fun. I'm here making a video and chatting with you guys. And how did I get so lucky? And yeah, what else can show up that we haven't even considered? Like I was actually, like it started off from this space of it being only about this one class and one event. But the choice of the willingness of not buying it as real, not buying it as solid, has created this space and possibility available where my business has expanded, where different possibilities have shown up. Like what if there is a world of possibilities available if you ask, only if we ask for it? So how many times we are trying to solve a problem or figure it out or sort it out, but what if it wasn't about that? What if it was about choosing? What if it was about asking for it? And a lot of times choosing is also asking for it, and then take actions, whatever actions are required to get that going, to get it in motion. And like it's not even like you can't even conclude that, okay, if I spoke to this person, then he'll create that. But like with each person that I spoke to, each person that I chose to connect with, each person that I had a word with, each person that I was being willing to be vulnerable and really be willing to look at what's showing up for me, allowed to expand and create possibilities that I would have not been able to think my way through. Yet, it's not necessary that, okay, so-and-so said this, so then it will look like this. But it's more like, oh, cool, so now all of this is available. Awesome. What would I like to choose, and where would I like to go from here, and where would my business like to go from here? So, does that make sense? What else is possible? Is there anything else now that I'm here that you guys would like to talk about? So what if having your back was to not buying into anything as solid and real, to using anything that's showing up for you in the world, for people around you, to create greater, to create different, to ask for, like it's just created more space for the event venue organizers, because I am willing to be more space with it. I am choosing to have more ease with it. So the wonkiness in their world sort of started fizzling out. But I could have gone to the other direction and gone into the yelling, which sometimes works, but in this situation I got that I required to choose things for myself. But like whatever shows up, whatever energy, whatever choice, whatever action that you require to choose in those 10 seconds, that's what Anita says, my video link is showing error. Oh, like this video? I can see your comment. Hi Sangeeta, thank you for joining. We were just talking about what could having your back look like. It could be, you can see it now, Anita? Cool. So what if it was about turning around everything and using to your advantage? Like I've done this, and it seeps in every now and then where I would sit and say, this is not showing up because that person is not choosing it. Like I couldn't go there because my husband took the car, there's no other option available. How can I go? Because, I don't have the car that I like to drive. Or I could be like, okay, what are the other infinite possibilities here that I haven't even considered? So what if having your back was not really about included you, and like how much of our life are we creating from looking at what everyone else wants, what everyone else requires? And what if that was a greatness too? Like what if that was an underlying capacity for you to be so aware of what everyone else requires? Like how many businesses could you create from there? How many revenue streams could you create from there as to what people are asking, without buying into it as solid and real, without going into blame, shame, guilt or regret, without going into the rightness or the wrongness or the goodness or badness of it, but from the space, or the negative or positive polarities of it, but from the space, like what would it look like if we could really use the capacities? Like if you are aware and you know what's the wonky and what's going on in everyone's world, what if we asked, what are people asking for that we can turn around to create greater? What are people asking for that we haven't offered or we haven't provided, that if we did would create a different revenue stream? Will create more money flows, will create greater possibilities. So what have people been asking you that you haven't provided yet, that if you did will create greater? And when you always have a choice, no matter what people are asking for, and no matter what people are being, to be aware of it and be present with it. And what choices do you have available with that nobody else does? And the more we start choosing from that space, the more possibilities start showing up. The more we ask for those possibilities to show up, the more those things start showing up. Like, so like for me today was that, Reese just walked in, so I just got reminded of this. So he says hello to everyone. So for me it was like, oops, I got a call in the middle. Am I live again? So, the willingness to ask, who can I talk to here? Like sometimes it's so much faster if you're talking to someone or you are willing to have that conversation with, like a lot of times that I might not be willing to have that conversation entirely with myself, though what if you could play with that too, yet ask, who can facilitate me here that will create greater? And then pick up the phone or call or go over and have that conversation, that or call me if you like, I'm here. But what if you were willing to have your back to that extent where you're like, fuck, this is not working for me, so what else is possible from here? Who else can I what else can I choose? Who can I talk to? Where can I go from here? So the willingness to really ask someone for help, and just like what would that create, that was really difficult for me to ask for help from people. And I would think 200 times before calling. I know it sounds weird, but right voice for you class, help me. But I would think 200 times before calling up someone or asking for information or help that I knew that person gifted. And the more I got over that stupidness around it, the more I became like an interesting point of view around it. I realized that people really desire to gift, and people really desire to give you information, and people really desire to, most of the people, there might be some really wonky people who were just born on the wrong side, but like, I don't know what's up, but what else is possible there too. Yet, You could ask, what would it take me to surround myself with people who are willing to gift me with these? Hey Praveen, thanks for joining. So we are talking about what is having your back, what does it look like, and what is right voice for you. And if you have any questions, type away. Hey Praveen, double Praveen, Praveen and Praveen. So it's been a fun, joyful ride. I almost opened the back door. I was like, canceling. And then I was like, wait a minute. Hey Angad, thanks for joining in. What can I really choose from here and what can I create? Like, how many ideas do you have that desire to pop out, to get created, who are nudging you, keeping you awake at night, that you're pushing away? Because either you decided it's not the right time, or you don't have the right resources, or you don't have the right people, or you don't have the perfect people, the perfect equipment, the perfect space for it. But what if you were willing to be imperfect, I said unperfect, is that even a word? Imperfect, and well, that was nicely timed when I was talking about imperfect. What if you're willing to be imperfect and choose whatever, wherever you are, like start wherever you are, with the willingness, like if you couldn't fail ever, what would you choose? And then whatever shows up from that choice, what if you could choose again and create something different? So what if it wasn't about choosing and unchoosing, but choosing and then creating beyond that? Choice sort of creates awareness, not sort of, it does create awareness. Like when you choose something, it starts giving you this sense of what that would create. Like sometimes for fun, I would just choose something. Like if it's small choices, I would choose it. Okay, I'm going to choose it for, and then I'll get a sense of 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 seconds. And I would choose it and see what that's creating. And like really choose it. What would it mean for me to choose that? And then be willing to be present with what that's creating in the world as the future. And if I don't choose it, what would that create? So you could do that like for 10 seconds or 10 minutes or whatever is showing up, and then not choose it for 10 seconds, 10 minutes or whatever, 15 minutes, whatever is showing up for you. For bigger choices like moving homes, getting married, moving cities, joining a partnership with someone, you want to ask for 3 days maybe, or how long do I require to choose this, to get a sense of what that would create, and then choose it. Like we don't even allow ourselves to choose it because we stop ourselves from deciding as to what that would create. But till the time you don't choose it, you will not get a sense of what that's actually going to create. So what if you allowed yourself to, I keep thinking the camera is there, but it's here. So I keep asking myself, like, as to, with choices, like what if you could play, and sometimes it's like this. Like you would just know if you choose this and it'll expand your world. And sometimes you know that if you choose this, that's not the path you want to take. So what can you be and do different that will create a different reality for you, a different possibility? It's like, what if there is a whole world of possibilities just awaiting to gift you, to contribute to you, to get created by you, through you? And what are the 5 things that you can choose today? Or one thing, okay, one thing. Was it one thing that you secretly desire, or that you would like to create, that you've totally been denying yourself and the world, very bad, mean of you, that if you create it now, or chose it now, would create a different reality, a different world for everyone. Everything that doesn't allow that, throw it out of the window, because I'm sitting next to a window, or you can throw it wherever, off the planet. So what is it that you desiring to create? And this has been like a huge gift, like the right voice for you, for me. Hi Valerie, thank you for joining. It's really like allowed me to, it's a gift. Like I don't know what it does. This, like the tools in the class itself has this energy that it creates this space of like as if you can never be wrong. So what if you could never be wrong? What would you choose? Like even in a conversation, if you're saying something and you see it going in a direction that's not really working out, you can always take another direction. It's like, what if it's 10 seconds choice? Like, what if nothing was wrong and anything and everything that you're saying also contributes to everyone? And the more you choose it and the more you step out of the wrongness of you and start choosing the seeing it as, or asking for it to show up as, the capacity of you or strongness of you. Like, a great question is, what if every wrongness of you, or what if the wrongness of you is the strongness of you? Like, just play with that question. I play with that every day, and it's amazing how, like, one of the wrongnesses of me was talking. My family used to be like, and I mean, they were playing or whatever with it, but I took it as a wrongness of me. And Sangeeta says, I love this. Thank you, Ina. I just had an aha moment around the choice I just played with. Yay! I love it. See, I'm glad I got into this video live. So I was talking about talking, and when I was a kid, my entire family used to joke about it. They used to be like, if you keep quiet for even 5 minutes, you will get a chocolate, 5-star. That was my favorite chocolate at that time. I never got that 5-star, and I am glad. Here I am, talking away. So what is, thanks Minu for liking that, Harleen. That was one of my family. How did I get so lucky? Now I'm talking and they can choose to listen or choose to leave. How cool is that? I get to talk anyways. So I do get invited to talk now and I do get paid for it. How cool is that? So what if you ask, what if the wrongness of you, hi Ramona, what if the wrongness of you is the strongness of you? And just start, like, look at any one wrongness that you decided is a total wrongness because it's so true in your world, and that it has to be wrong because nobody else likes it and nobody else thinks it's a greatness, like whatever, like talking. So what if you were willing to, just for this moment, look at anything that you've decided as a wrongness of you, and then ask, okay, what if the wrongness of me and the wrongness of this was the strongness of me? It would be something, and you want to ask, what's the underlying capacity there? Because there's something that you are aware of, the way you see things, the way you be and do things that nobody else can see. That's why it seems like this wrongness. It seems like, nobody else is doing it and everybody else obviously has a different point of view about it. But what if it wasn't so? What if it could be a wrongness? And how can you use that to outcreate you? How can you use that to create the life that you desire? How can you use that, because it comes to you with so much ease, you're almost hiding it. How can you use it to create revenue streams, create money flows that you haven't even imagined? Like talking, it makes me money now, and I have so much fun with it. So what is it that you've decided is the wrongness of you? There's so much fun that you're not allowed to have fun, right? You're just not allowed to have fun, especially in work, in business, and with money. It's supposed to be like serious business. There's so many things involved. There are models involved in it that there's no way you can have fun with it. So that has to be a wrongness. So double wrongness there. Everything that is. I'm going to use a clearing statement. That's the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. It's a crazy statement that somehow works, and you can look it up at www.theclearingstatements.com. And everything that is and everything that brings up and lets down, destroy and uncreate it all, right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. What if the wrongness of you is the strongness of you? Everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive it. Will you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all? Just like kind of letting it go from the source. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. And what can show up now? What can you choose now? What can you choose different now? What if you ask every day, what can I choose and be different? What can I be and do different today? What have you decided you'll never choose? What have you decided you'll never do? What have you decided is inconceivable? What have you decided is impossible? What have you decided is something you will die before doing? Which one of those can you choose today? And how much fun can you have? Like, what are the 5 things that you can choose that you have decided is completely impossible? There are quite a few things that are impossible. One was to make videos. And I'm sitting here and yapping away for quite some time now. So, on that note, I'm going to leave you beautiful guys with this information. I have a right voice for you breakthrough intro. I'm a breakthrough intro facilitator. It's just for 2 hours. And I'll share the link below and or above, wherever it comes in the post. And check it out, look it up, choose it if that excites you. It's just 2 hours. How much fun can we have? And what can we break through? What new and different can we introduce? It's in Delhi. The venue, if you have been part of this conversation from starting, is yet to be selected or show up or chosen. But I will post that too in the link, with the link, and it's Right Voice for You Breakthrough Intro with Mua Ina Basur on 25th March in Delhi in the evening, and I will be more than happy. Hi Jatinda, thank you for joining in, and we are almost signing out. You can watch the replay, and if you would like to join, I would love for you guys to join and have fun with you guys. And if you know anyone who is interested or could benefit from it, do share. And for now, it's ciao, bye. What if you're willing to have your back, and what would that look like for you? And if you were committed to your life, what would that be like and look like for you? What would you choose today? Sayonara.